let me address the myth. First of all, the myth that colleges are looking to screen out students with disabilities. You can hear directly from admissions deans in step 6. And if you don't believe me or them, talk to any admissions dean. They are not looking to rule students out. That is not. And you're familiar with Rick Clark and the Georgia Tech blog. I mean, he writes and does so much wonderful work of talking about how they compose classes, and that's not even a consideration. So all this is to say, call our offices, ask all the questions you want, students. We do not get off the phone and, we don't take your name and your phone number and somehow, contact admissions and tell them you're there because there's this whole agenda we're all in on that we're not going to accept students with disabilities. And if this makes you feel better, I want you to think about this. If I work in the Disability Services Office, even if this were happening, why would I ever actually follow through on that? Because if they don't accept students with disabilities, I'm out of a job really soon.
Right. You need students with needs,
yes.
so that they need you.
There's a reason to be there. Get up in the morning. So
Absolutely.
I don't at all want to be dismissive of students and their families who fear this stuff. They're being fed this fear by people who say things like, never mention your disability. The opposite of what we talked about is I have seen people online say, get your kid off the 504 and IEP before they start high school, because people think, I know. So first of all, they don't understand what transcripts can and cannot say. And again, Harlan, I can send you the link to the Office for Civil Rights post on that and what transcripts can and can't do. So they think
they don't include the 504, they don't include the IEP, like legally they don't include that, just so everyone knows like some of the bullet points.
Thank you. Yes, I should have probably actually explained that. Right. The only thing they're allowed to say is if your student took a class where the curriculum was modified. So that could be a gifted class. And it could also be a class just for students in special ed who have more intensive needs. So that's the only thing it can say. As you know, if your student's taking SATs or ACTs, they're not allowed to flag the scores of students who used accommodations. So all of this is to say, don't take your kids off. Don't let let them go without services or accommodations that they need. And I want to also address something that parents have told me, schools have said to them, which is we should get your student off of any accommodations in high school because they won't have them at college. Now, it's true that there are some accommodations that they're unlikely to get, but those educators should talk to somebody at one of our offices, better yet, read my book, or do both. What am I saying? Do both. And, find out what we actually do offer so that they are not misleading families and having students do without things that they should.